Hi guys, you'll be sick of me today. Morning Sarah, how are you? Hi Gaelic. Is my piano very loud? Take it down a notch. How are you keeping? I had to delay this a small because I was out and about. I got a total of 0 answers to the question last week about trying to fit in the timeline. No one came back to me. Shock horror. I did see one person try to get there, but it's hilarious. It's hilarious when people actually try to look at the timeline and fit it in. They can't, so they just revert to slinging shit at Brandy and Tyler. Do you know what I never showed last week? Because I was so kind of set on just outlining how ridiculous the timeline was. Or how ridiculous the what they're trying to say happened was. But I will keep a map open as well, because I know there were some people in that stream last week, and they might even pop in on this one or the next one, that just don't really know about the case. Do you know? And it's very easy and very quick to just show people what happened. But I never looked at the videos on Monkey's Law. Just woke up 5 a.m. sir. Oh my god. This is happening every week, but I'm still shocked. So it's 4 a.m. so usually when it's on. Did you see this? The FBI agent and the Fruitland police just standing praying with Monkey's family. It seems like pretty much the whole of the Fruitland police was down there. Hi Laura, how are you? Yeah, and it's difficult, Laura, to find out, because there's some channels that have 10, 20, 30 videos on rubbish, but they're not telling you anything about a timeline or trying to fit it in. But just for you, a very quick gist of it. If I can get down, where would it go down? There we go. I wonder, is Terry here actually? Terry, are you in the chat? Because I did see Terry make a comment earlier that was wrong. But I'll touch on that here. So this is Monkey's house. He slipped out this door around 6:30. Turned right. He was looking for kids to play with. He's done that before. Knocked on this house. See all the kids' stuff outside. They sent him home. He was walking back up. He didn't go home. Carried on down the road. called to this neighbour on the left, knocked on the door. Not one neighbour watched him kind of go home, go in the door, or they didn't walk him back to the house or anything like that. I think one was going out shopping, so they just kind of hopped into the car. He carried on walking down. There is a house here with a Ring doorbell camera that, as far as I know, does not capture him. This is from September, so this is from afterwards, so we could see there was a ring on it. But the reason I thought initially that he would be, but Brandy said it on Brooks' Crime Lies and Lies weeks ago that he's not captured. But the thing is with that is he called to the neighbour east of this house, so we know he was going down the road. Tracker dogs also tracked him down the road. Called to this house. This was the last house that he called to. Again, didn't take him home. This was, I think the last house was around 7:15, maybe 6:47. And down on this corner here, we know there used to be kittens and stuff that he was playing with. And I believe dogs tracked him down to this corner here as well. You couldn't rule other spots out, but it's just my opinion that this was the corner where it happened. So I'm just going to go back to the map. So we're in this corner now here. So if you look at the area, you can see elementary school, middle school, high school, whole school district around here. Baseball pitches, running tracks, tennis clubs. It screams kids. Fruitland has the whole of the school district just shoved down south. Over here is a park, Castle Park, and that will look like now if you were on your phone as well, it'll be highlighted in green. If you click on the park, you get photographs of kids playing in the water that were uploaded in July 2021. So they were only uploaded days, maybe max 3-4 weeks before Monkey was taken. There's this photograph. And then there's a second one here as well of wet kids kind of unattended. If you look at the roads, you'll see a big, huge interstate highway just over to the left of the house, but just look when you come out of the estate how quickly. So you come out, you can turn right or left, and you're straight kind of onto that road. And that road can take you anywhere. Interesting there now to see the red, to see the slow traffic, isn't it? So what I think happened is Monkey was on that corner. He was here. And I'll give you two. So either someone was scouting that area because it's a prime area. I haven't seen a better looking area to snatch kid. Easy access to the road, schools. You're not going to be seen on the way out. This kind of looks like here that Crestview Park is tucked in at the back. So I think someone came in and drove up Cornwall Way. We know, like, Cornwall Way was mentioned in one of the police updates as well early on. And there's a load of walkways there, so I think maybe there's a chance the person was up there coming back out. And as he's coming back out, he'd have sight of the monkey on that corner, which is kind of isolated, blocked a lot from the houses. Or, this is the worst scenario, that they'd be aware now of ring doorbell cameras and stuff like that, because there was 2 vehicles caught exiting the estate. One was ruled out, one is still ruled in, but they believe they know who owns it. That's the corner here. If we go out here, just on this bend here, you can see right down the street. So if he was popping around here, going to houses, you can see him. So that to me is the most logic. Last week I was looking at ways, because I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to embrace it, because a lot of people from the very start are desperate to try and get Monkey's dad involved somehow. Brandy the last few weeks, Brandy was at work. I'm not even going to entertain that stuff. So we started looking at the roads, how he could possibly do this in 15 minutes, because he's on camera up here at the splash pad at about 7:02, 7:03, because he goes looking for him. And there's just no way that anything can happen in 10, 15 minutes. And I asked people to show me, give me a scenario, give me a plausible scenario that something can happen in that time. And there was one really, really poor attempt. They wouldn't even go full in, because I think they knew themselves how ridiculous they were coming across. Another thing that people underestimate, Laura, is the kind of search that was done. The whole place was tore apart for months, upside down, inside out. The FBI car team were involved straight away. They flew dogs in that night. So a lot of people who kind of just come in just kind of slightly underestimate the search that was done. But I want to go through some of the early videos from that night and the following day, where the news reporter is standing here just on this bend. Because you'll be able to see the grass, you'll be able to see a lot of it. Or this last week, we were on about this road, and I was like, maybe they weren't there in July. They were there in July. This is the dirt road. Your car will be destroyed going down here. There's a big farm where people are working on it constantly by the looks of it. 1, 2, how many did we count last week? 5. So you have, if you have 15, 20 minutes, you have a max of 10 minutes to get somewhere, because you need 10 minutes to get back. You also have to have motive. If it's an accident, there's absolutely no evidence or anything at all like that. So people think that there was some instant murder, and somehow in 10 minutes you can get rid of a child's body, which you can't. It's rubbish. It's rubbish. I was talking about it last week. But the thing is, like, if a lot of people consume content and don't look at that, they don't even bother, or people don't want to as well. I'm getting loads of comments on this stuff during the week. People don't want to look at it because they have a mind made up. People love when parents are involved in these cases for some strange reason. And they'll only consume content that will give them that. Which it can't, because thankfully in this case, the timeline is just too tight. I showed this first. This was the Monkey's Law. It was just interesting to see everyone standing with the family, support. It's great to see.
Is broken, and we're very sympathetic for Michael's family. And Lord, we ask that you would be with them and bring them comfort. We know there is some consolation in the fact that a law is being passed today that will perhaps certainly be beneficial and help in these kind of situations in the past and in the future. Not in the past, but Father, rather in the future. Lord, the things that are happening in this country are unimaginable. Can't imagine anything worse than a child being abducted.
What was that? What did he say there?
Worse than a child being abducted. So, Father, I thank you for those who have stepped forward and are bringing this bill forward, and for the governor coming to sign it, and all the law enforcement and all the support that it has. Lord, I also ask for healing and comfort today, healing for our country as we see this kind of thing going on and can hardly imagine it. Lord, your word tells us that if we will, your people who are called by your name, will humble themselves and pray and turn from their evil ways, that you will hear their prayers.
Hi, Trixie.
And you will heal their land. And Father, so today we pray for healing for our land. And we ask, Father, that this bill might be a step in that direction. We thank you that you are a loving God, that you never leave us, you never forsake us. You are always there with us, even in times when we can't explain and we don't understand what's going on. Father, again, we thank you for your love, for your mercy. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
And then this was a little news report in Idaho News. 122 views. I'll link that in there. Like at your own time, be appreciated. It's just when these things, you'd love to see these things get loads of views, because then it might give the news channel more incentive to do more stuff. As sad as that is, it works on them.
Brad Little today signing Senate Bill 1378 into law. It's also known as Monkey's Law. That's the nickname for Michael Vaughan. He's the 5-year-old boy from Fruitland who's been missing now for 8 months. No alert was issued when he came up missing. This bill corrects that.
There's 3 eyewitnesses, Julia. He's not on the Ring doorbell camera. And if you look at all the police he's seen nearby his home, I can go through them. But it depends on what you're looking at the reports for. Have a look at their last update on... I have them all here. I'll go through them.
Idaho's first ever endangered missing persons alert, what we call Monkey's Law. Monkey's Law established an emergency alert system that lets us send out alerts parallel to the Amber Alert system, so that no other family will have to suffer the anguish of not seeing an alert when an endangered missing person or child is kidnapped.
This is monumental to Idaho law enforcement. I just want to make sure that everybody understands how big that is for us.
Now, Chief Huff says they continuously are working on...
What do you mean, Trixie? Oh, with the like showed up where? Showed up on YouTube or showed up there? Like even last week with that stuff, just completely malice, ruined the day. It's so strange.
On finding Michael, tips are still coming in. By the way, Michael's parents were there today for the signing of the bill. And here again is a picture of Michael. He's 5 years old, 3 feet 7 inches tall, weighs about 50 pounds. If you know something that could bring Michael home, email the tip to findmichael@fruitland.org.
Oh yeah, so this is actually from this is from I was looking for the old updates. I couldn't find some of the news reports, but I know Chasen has a good one in here, so I'm just gonna play it from her video. It's Chasing Truth, she's fab. And I was saying last week as well, because Jason has So Mean allegedly. She has a channel with Grey Hughes. And I was interested in his first opinion when he's seen it, because the maps, the roads, and he's looking at maps now a long time. And I was able to track it down. It was tough because he doesn't have it linked in the description or anything, so I had to watch literally every night of his streams after the 28th to try and catch it. But he calls it out straight away, kind of for what it is, and you can see him getting frustrated that people were slinging things in the chat from the very, very start. Because it's kind of normalised now to be doing that. He touched on it maybe one or two other times as well. And you could tell when I think when the updates were done in November, and he was just getting really pissed off then because there was people jumping in the stream and jumping on the chat. And that man, I was laughing today because I seen a comment, and I honestly thought about it for him, because Delphi is also crazy. A lot of people blaming Kelsey. Kelsey's involved. Lunatics. I've blocked loads on this channel. But I don't think people realise, I definitely didn't before I had a channel, how much of this that Gray was getting, especially with Delphi. Like, he could jump on a stream every night a week with Delphi and get double, triple, quadruple the views he'd get on his normal show. And he doesn't. He just does it when he feels it's necessary. But I can't imagine what he went through with all that stuff. And he was saying in the comment he thinks he has PTSD from it. I think he does too, because it would drive you nuts. They turned up to the signing. So we're going to release a call the night before. There's nothing got to do with the disappearance of Monkey. It's sick. It's a like, what's their goal? What's the goal?
CBS 2's Kristen McPeak here. I'm in Fruitland, where a 5-year-old recently went missing. I'm in a neighborhood here where the boy was last seen. This is 9th Street and Arizona Avenue in Fruitland. As you can see, there is also large fields surrounding me. So to see
the fields, guys, at the time, like, you can see why people would be thinking that he's in the field, that he's, after falling in the grass, he's in the high grass. That'd be your first kind of instinct, especially in a quiet area like that. It's different now that we're looking at the maps, and it just feels a bit obvious, feels a bit dangerous.
Are here. searching for the boy, but I'll give you a rundown of information of what we know so far. A 5-year-old went missing last night around 7:30. He is named Michael Vaughan. He's wearing a light blue Minecraft shirt and
This is the first reports now, so there's going to be
dark blue
stuff that's
boxers. He has blonde hair and
she clarifies that in the next report.
eyes. Once again, a 5-year-old went missing there. So he was last seen inside this neighborhood. He was last seen on foot. And so search crews have been searching this area. Local law enforcement, fire, EMS, and people were all
You can hear them there, guys. You can hear the helicopters and drones
searching this area. And it was searched by vehicle, by foot, and even by air. I'm actually going to flip the camera so you can see what I'm seeing here. There is actually a helicopter. I'm told it's with the Air National Guard here, searching these fields. It's been circling the area all morning, and so we're definitely keeping an eye out there. Very slow.
Yeah, 6. That's exactly what they're doing. Oh, I forgot my banner.
Slowly circling. So far in the last 10-20 minutes has not seemed to stop circling. As you can see, search crews are here. They have just started their search. They've been kind of starting along this area here, looking for any footprints or signs of the 5-year-old. And so they've been just scanning this area. As you can see, lots of cornfields nearby and just agricultural land. So search crews are kind of there. I'm here.
And look, you can see that little dirt road, how dirty it is in the hay there.
Information for.
I actually thought at the start, like that was the spot I was thinking when I was first looking at that case. I thought about a car coming in and just going down here to turn around. And having sight of him here. This is where she's standing now. She's standing just there. So if you can imagine a car coming in, going for a little look, just doing a little 180 here. Bang. God.
For you. Once again, this is the neighborhood where that 5-year-old was last seen on foot. This is 9th in Arizona in Fruitland. And so just for those of you who are joining in, I'll give you a little bit of a rundown of information of what we know so far. As of 10 minutes ago, there was no update at last check. But what we do know is a 5-year-old did go missing around 7:30 last night and has not been seen since. He was last seen outside of a home in this neighborhood on foot and has not been seen. So he's wearing a blue shirt and blue boxers, has blue eyes and blonde hair. We'll put a link in the description so you could read more about him and what he looks like. There's some photos there. So crews are continuing to search nearby areas. The sheriff's office is asking people to kind of stay out of the area, let search crews kind of do their thing, looking for the 5-year-old. And then we'll also ask if you have any information on where this 5-year-old may be to call the sheriff's office or the police officers as the search continues. So once again, I'm going to flip the camera so you can kind of see what we're looking at. You can see search crews are starting to begin their search here in the field. I'm going to look at your comments so I can answer any questions with what I know right now. Like I said, there's very limited information right now. There hasn't been very many updates. We do have an updated story on our website, idahonews.com. There's photos of the child and any information that we know so far. Someone is asking where this is. This is in a neighborhood in Fruitland. It's on 9th and Arizona Avenue. You can actually see the helicopter just flying over us. Right.
Like they threw every resource available to them at it immediately.
Now, I'm told, I don't know if I can.
And they got a lot. like so many agencies came into support and offered help. They said no to nothing.
Zoom in, but you can see someone is looking out the window there. I'm sorry.
Or didn't say no to anything. Two negatives there.
For the shaky footage. I'm carrying two different phones. One has a lot of notes on it with information, and I'm also controlling my camera while trying to remember exactly what is happening right now. Someone says, anyone have doorbell cameras? Fruitland police are asking people if they have any information to give them a call. Of course, check your security cameras and that kind of thing. So
I think they collected, it's in one of the press conference, 60 to 70 pieces of videos and doorbell cameras and stuff from around the place. Warrants for cell phone pings. Julie, that's a small bit more complicated than what I thought over in the States. Brandy touched on it a week or two back, and I made a video on it because it's the same in Delphi case, but something happened in the States a few years back when it comes to tracking people's movement. It was seen as an invasion of privacy, whereas in Australia with Cleo Smith, they track the devices. They don't look into your device, but they track the movement of devices so they can get a shortlist. I don't think the way things are at the moment in a lot of states in America that's possible to get a huge data dump like that. But even if it is, it's insane the amount of data you're going to have there because of the time of the day and because of the amount of people coming out of here, coming out of Ontario. Like it's not just mobile phones, it's anything that has an internet connection. So any tablets, phones, GPSs in cars, anything that's pinging. In theory, they should be able to get and track. But the problem is you start tracking, you might need one tower and then you might need a few other towers around it just to see where they went so you can kind of build a profile of the movements. And I think that's where some courts then or some law says, no, you're tracking movements now, people. You can't do that. But they were able to get some. And obviously, all the family and stuff like that, straight away, they'll get all that data.
they're hoping that people will come forward with some information just to get this 5-year-old found.
Oh, hi, Brandy.
We don't know if the 5-year-old was walking around in the neighborhood or what exactly led up to him being missing. We're just told that he was last seen on foot outside of a home or at a home in this neighborhood. We don't know if he has any other siblings. I'm just going through your comments right now.
Very early on now, guys. They have very little information. You heard even the 7:30 there.
Someone asked if there is water nearby.
With the pings, Brandy, is it? I had a bad feeling about that a few months ago. I knew there was something in it. And then with the Delphi audio as well, and I'm confirming it.
There is a very small canal in this area, which search and rescue crews are looking at right now, but they're just working their way. I'm looking.
So you can kind of see it there small, but all the water, any canals like that all around here were drained.
At the dirt that they've been following. They have been kind of following this area here, looking for footprints, anything that could lead them to find any evidence that he was there. So this is the one part of water in the area, as you can see here. For those of you just joining in, I'll go over the facts of what we know so far. This is a developing story. We're just outside of a neighborhood where there are fields nearby. Search and rescue crews are looking for a missing 5-year-old. There's a helicopter in the area, and search and rescue crews are kind of searching both the grassy areas and these roads nearby. What we know is the 5-year-old, his name is Michael Vaughan. He went missing around 7:30 last night. He's wearing a light blue Minecraft shirt, dark blue boxers, blonde hair, and blue eyes in a neighborhood near Fruitland. This is on 9th Street and Arizona Avenue. He was last seen outside a home on foot. A search ensued, so local law enforcement, fire, EMS have all been on scene searching, as well as people in the area have joined to help with the search. A canine has also helped search the area, as well as drones and St. Luke's helicopter. I'm also told the helicopter flying behind me is from the National Guard or the Air Guard. Right now, there obviously has not been any luck in finding him. He went missing at 7:30 last night. And so the sheriff's office is asking people just to remain vigilant. Fruitland police are asking people if they have any security footage, any information, or any details on where he could be, to definitely pass on the information to them. I'm just seeing, it looks like an EMS vehicle kind of driving down the road here. So there's definitely a big presence of people in the area.
Thanks, Lib. I think that boy was found. Amber alert for 4-year-old missing boy in New Jersey found safe in Delaware. It's just there from 19 minutes ago. And that's what I said now. I was only talking about that a few weeks ago. It's just so bittersweet for Brandy seeing things like this going out, because Monkey didn't get his Amber alert, and they work. Amber alert cancelled after 4-year-old boy missing in New Jersey found safe in Delaware. Thank God.
May sunshine is back.
Sorry, no, I'm about to interrupt them, but
Wind right now makes it feel a little cooler. It's also very dry outside. So mid 60s, lower 70s. Have the jack.
That's life. We don't want that. So Amber alert issued has been cancelled after a 4-year-old boy was found safe in Delaware, according to Salem police. Authorities issued an Amber alert on Monday afternoon in search for a 4-year-old boy who police believe was abducted by a female suspect driving a black Ford Fusion. And she's taken into police custody. Thank God.
Area searching for this 5-year-old. I'm going to flip the camera one more time so you can kind of see what's going on. But things have picked up in the last few minutes here. It was quiet when I got out here earlier. People are asking about.
This was about a week after it. And this is just the search. People who are regulars here now are sick of this one, but on the opposite field.
Idaho
State
I'm
Police
going to jump
issued
to
an
the 6th.
endangered missing person alert on behalf of the Fruitland Police Department for a little boy.
And the reason this is so critical, this is a little boy, a 5-year-old child. Fruitland Police looking for this little guy, 5-year-old Michael Vaughan, last seen in the area of Southwest 9th and Arizona in Fruitland. He has blonde hair, blue eyes.
So this one actually has all the reports in it.
3'7". He was last seen wearing a blue shirt with a Minecraft picture on it and dark blue boxer shorts. Police there have asked residents in the area to check their own properties for any signs of the boy. They do need people to stay out of that immediate area of Southwest 9th and 8th while they deploy a tracking dog to search for him. But the community is coming together to help find this boy right now. If you have any information on where he might be, please call Fruitland Police, 208-642-6006. We want to get Michael home safely.
6th day, the community itself was searching at 7:30. Like immediately. Monkey was last seen. What's on the latest police report? 6:30 to 7:00. We know Tyler was searching at around 7:05. Literally immediately, people began searching, and they rallied. The whole little community, the town rallied straight away. The governor there, who was actually signing that law, was out searching that night as well. I think Brandy was saying last week, or not the governor, the senator. Sorry.
And as soon as possible.
This afternoon, the search for a missing 5-year-old boy that began late last night enters its second day. Michael Vaughan was last seen near Southwest 9th Street and South Arizona Avenue in Fruitland. He was last seen around 6:30 yesterday. Here's the information you need to know. Michael is about 3.5 feet tall and weighs 50 pounds. He was last seen wearing a light blue shirt with a Minecraft picture on it. He was wearing dark blue boxer briefs and sandals.
Kim, you know, it was 24 hours ago, almost 24 hours ago, when Michael Vaughan, 5-year-old Michael Vaughan, went missing from this neighborhood behind me. But just feet away, this field is just one area where crews spent most of the day searching for that little boy.
You would, though, guys, wouldn't that be the field you'd kind of focus on?
Hey.
Hey.
From the air and on the ground, crews from multiple agencies went door to door, talking to neighbors, searching yards and nearby fields, all in hopes of finding 5-year-old Michael Joseph Vaughan. Neighbors say they learned about the 5-year-old's around city on Tuesday night. They say Michael was a happy kid who lived in this neighborhood with his parents and grandfather. Cynthia Walker
Shouldn't be saying was there all.
lives in the neighborhood and was walking her dog as the search was happening.
At 5 years old, I don't know that he would wander too far without one of us seeing him by now. There are volunteers, many volunteers out searching, scanning the fields, and we just want to have Michael back. We want him home safe.
Fruitland police didn't want to go on camera, but in a statement says Michael is considered missing and endangered. He was last seen wearing a blue Minecraft shirt like this one and dark blue briefs. After searching with the help of a canine, a drone, and helicopter, still no sign of the little boy.
We're just praying for the family, praying for Michael.
And earlier today, a local church group and its members were out here trying to find Michael. And they also said they started a prayer group in hopes of finding him. His aunt was also out here. She didn't want to go on camera, but she tells us she's grateful for the support. Kim?
Well, let's hope we find him soon. Shira, though, any details about the circumstances of his disappearance? 6:30 is right around dinner time, typically for families. Was he last seen with his parents? Any details like that? Have they been released?
Tennessee, I have on Monkey's website, there's 3 Facebook profiles on it. One is Brandy's, one is Michael's Facebook group, and one is the Fruitland Police.
Not officially, no. You know, we are hearing things from different neighbors, but officially, we're still waiting for more information from police. And they said once they have an update, they will notify us. And once we find out, we'll be sure to pass that along to the public as well.
And all the information, Fruitland Police, that they're giving us at this time is just this press release, right? They've not been talking to us on camera?
Correct. Yes. There no on-camera interviews, just this press release.
Okay. Well, hopefully they'll talk with us soon so we can pass along perhaps any additional information they may have. Shira, thank you. Again, take a good look. This is a picture of Michael. He's the little boy missing. And police say he also...
And guys, you might think, hearing over all the kind of news reports, that this was everywhere in the state, in Ontario, but like there's still people who just don't watch TV. This wasn't an Amber Alert, it was a missing child. They didn't get push notifications to their phone. There's still people to this day that are just finding out.
Responds to the
Which is
nickname
terrible.
of Monkey. If you've seen him or you know anything about his whereabouts, please contact Payette County Sheriff's Office. The number's on your screen. It's 208-642-6000.
This morning, the search continues for a missing boy in Fruitland.
5-year-old Michael Vaughan reported missing Tuesday night at around 6:30 near Southwest 9th Street and South
See, they're now after getting the time right after today.
Arizona Avenue in Fruitland. This was right by his home. Now, despite crews searching in the air, on land, in canals in Fruitland all day yesterday, he's
In the neighbourhood, by the home.
still has not been found. Fruitland police are asking everyone who lives in that community to please search their homes and their properties.
And police are also asking for your help if you can give it. There will be a volunteer search in Fruitland led by the police department from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. today. You're asked to meet in the southern parking lot of Fruitland High School if you want to take part in the search for this missing little boy. And if you have any information, call 911 or the Payette County Sheriff's Office. More on the search coming up in just a minute.
Well, tonight, concern and confusion in Fruitland as law enforcement and the community continue to search for a missing 5-year-old boy. Michael Vaughan, also known as Monkey, has been missing since...
The criteria in Idaho for Amber Alerts has the vehicle, has that you must think it's an abduction, and it has the 12 hours. And the 12 hours kind of screwed them over a little bit. They pushed for it twice. Ellie wanted this. It was 2-3 civil servants that decided no.
Tuesday night. Now, we've watched...
And I get it. I completely understand why, not in this case at all. This is cut and dry. This is why why Amber Alerts exist. But I understand why states are hesitant with that sort of thing. You just don't want to desensitize people to it. There's other states that do it a bit too much, I think. And the danger of that is because they're doing it every couple of weeks that people stop kind of paying attention. But there was no excuse here.
As multiple law enforcement agencies have used helicopters, drones, and canines to find the little boy. Now, a national agency is joining in on the search, and it comes as we're now expecting an update about this case from police. Our Tristan Lewis is live in Fruitland, where he has been staying on top of this story for us this week. Tristan, walk us through what you've learned.
Shira, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children say they have a team on location in Fruitland. That team is known as Team Adam. They help with local law enforcement agencies on their search, spread awareness of children's disappearances, and help families during this devastating time. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children were not able to go into full details about what they are bringing to Michael's case, but in general, Team Adam is made up of retired law enforcement professionals. They are sent to sites where cases are unfolding to provide ground technical assistance and other national resources. They also bring equipment and more resources for each case. And while Team Adam is currently on location, the Idaho Army National Guard was in the area Wednesday, also aiding in search efforts. They were asked to use one of their UH-72A Lakota search and rescue helicopters.
Our crew conducted a thorough search of the area of interest, but unfortunately they were unable to locate the missing boy.
Michael, who also goes by Monkey, was reported missing Tuesday night in Fruitland. While law enforcement continue to search...
Look at the amount of people that came out, guys.
for clues as to where he might be. Support around the Treasure Valley is pouring into the community. Teams of people searching the town for hours today, all hoping to find Michael.
Kim, Fruitland police say water levels in area canals were reduced yesterday, but they had no success in finding Michael there. Agencies are...
I think he's at the top of the neighbourhood there now, and the splash pad is down here and on the right.
Around the valley are stepping up to provide help however they can. Every second matters in a case like this, so crews can narrow the search and point their resources in more targeted areas.
They need help, and you gotta help.
A community working together to find 5-year-old Michael Vaughan, who has been missing for more than 48 hours.
It's amazing. It's a great community. There's lots of support.
Fruitland police organized a community-wide search Thursday to locate the boy, who also goes by Monkey. The city was split up into 4 zones for volunteers to search. Folks were door knocking, asking neighbors questions if they have seen anything strange in the past few days, all in hopes to get any answers to where Michael may be.
It's pretty incredible to know that you've got a community and that much support when we need it.
Neighboring agencies have also been aiding in the search for Michael, like Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue Unit. They were called out Tuesday night to search, the same night he was reported missing. They say it's
Same night they were called out.
Important to act quickly whenever anyone is missing, but possibly even more so when it's a child.
If they were experiencing anxiety from in being lost and being separated from their family and loved ones and surroundings that they're familiar with, you easing that emotional distress and getting them back to their family is clearly of paramount importance.
Their part in locating Michael consisted of using search teams, trackers, canines, drones, even bikes.
All of those resources would be in play for a search like this at the discretion and coordination with law enforcement, who is overseeing this particular search.
While Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue was called off on Wednesday afternoon, Fruitland police are continuing to coordinate search efforts. As community members remain involved in the search for Michael, Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue says it's crucial for people to stay in touch with officials while doing so.
We don't have teams of folks that are searching the same area repetitively and potentially inadvertently missing areas that are important that need to be searched.
As of tonight, this search remains very active, and police are asking everyone in the area to thoroughly search their property. If anyone is doing a search and comes across anything, you are asked to contact Fruitland police as soon as possible.
Okay, I think this was a week, but it gives an idea of the search that was done within the 1 week.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is J.D. Huff, and I'm the Chief of Police for the City of Fruitland. And I just want to start out by saying thank you for attending today. This is this thing is monumental, and it's super important that we have you guys here helping us out, getting some words out here today. So I want to start this off by introducing some of my counterparts here, some of my partners that are helping me with this. I'll start out with Special Agent Brian Sullivan with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Captain Matt Sly with the Idaho State Police. I've got Chief John Plaza with the Payette Police Department.
State Police, Payette, FBI.
Marinelli with the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue Team.
Mountain Search and Rescue.
And I've got the family of Michael Joseph Vaughan here. Brandy and Tyler and Brandy's sister here today with us. So I'm going to read my press release to you, and then I'll stand by for a few questions for you once we complete this, okay? Today, the Fruitland Police Department, in conjunction with the State Police, multiple Treasure Valley law enforcement agencies, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, we continue to search for missing and endangered 5-year-old Michael Joseph Vaughan, MJ to his family and friends. Michael was last seen near his residence on Southwest 9th Street in Fruitland at approximately 6:30 p.m. on July 27th, 2021. Operations to date include the methodical search of the area near Michael's residence, which included 2 irrigation runoff ditches, which were drained by the Fruitland Public Works Department in an extensive...
That was the ones I was showing earlier, now, and other ones alongside that as well, I think, were in parallel.
Search and rescue effort, including the use of canines, aerial, and marine and land support. Idaho Fish and Game officers are continuing to search the river by boat for 4 to 5 miles downriver.
And you seen, guys, some of the drones now that they'll have, and we seen some information on that come out in the Summer Wells case. They're able to put the color, so you could put the color of say monkey's blue top in it, then that drone will fly around just looking for that color everywhere.
And back up, and in the sloughs of the Snake River as well.
Snake River tore her up. Like, those drones are so good, they can pick up like a couple of maggots on a floor. It's incredible.
The Fruitland Police Department will continue to organize search and rescue operations with resources provided by the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue Team, the Fruitland Fire Department, and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and others. We've received a tremendous amount of support from the Fruitland community and will continue to call upon them, but as needed. We're continuing to seek the public's assistance to identify individuals who are in the area of Southwest 8th, Southwest 9th, and Cornwall Way in Fruitland from 6:30 and 7:15 p.m. on Tuesday.
So 6:30 to 7:15, they've brought that back now to kind of 6:30 to 7. So near his residence, not in his residence, or outside his residence, near his residence, on Southwest 9th Street, Southwest Avenue, and they mentioned Cornwall Way as well. They were interested in any movements up here. That was why I was speculating about someone going up here for a little look in and on the way back out. Because on the way back out you would have sight, but also, like last week when we were looking here, it's pretty sickening. That you can park out here and you can see straight down. So you'll be able to see a little boy on the road playing with cats, bouncing from house to house.
Tuesday, July 27th, 2021. If you were in that area or you know someone who was, please contact us at 208-642-6006, extension 0. That's the Payette County Sheriff's Office, and again, a tip line. Even if you don't believe that you have something that's relevant or relevant information to this case, we want you to contact us so we can recreate a complete picture of the time that Michael was last seen. Every minute counts in these investigations when searching for a missing child, and we appreciate the public's support
Monkeys,
and cooperation
6 cents.
as we continue the search for Michael. If you live in the immediate area, please thoroughly search your property to include any out.
Yeah, Lisa, that's that danger of that part here. Because you can sit in a car here and see straight down, and then you're not going to be one of the cars that's caught on camera. Because there's a camera here that catches the entrance to the neighborhood. But if you're out here, sitting in a car out here, to your left, you have the road. Can't get down that one, can you? Would you have to drive up? Or could you? No, you won't be able to drive down there. But still, you're not going to be caught on camera up, out onto the road, and you can go right, left. Wherever you want, you're gone. It's the interstate highway that terrified me the first time I seen this. Like again, if you're going to, what percentage of the screen is colored in green there? 5% max. If you want to take a kid, if you want to snatch a kid, you want to take it on this line. Where am I going? Oh, Fruitland up here.
Buildings, vehicles, anything that a 5-year-old kid could get into. We also ask that you review any security camera footage that you may have that may be attached to your house. Video is extremely important to us in these circumstances and these investigations. We're also very grateful for the public's assistance in following up on each lead. We are vigorously following up on each lead that we're getting in. So I want to make it clear that as your tips are coming in, they're not falling on deaf ears. The community knows because they see us out here every single day, pounding the pavement, pounding these rural areas. We are working.
Sixth Sense, I have even if you scan the code here up in the top right hand corner, that'll take you to his website, and on that there's a page of how you can help. It just kind of outlines different stuff if you haven't seen it already. And if anyone has any other ideas of what I can add in there, let me know and we'll get it added in.
We're committed to finding Michael, and we're not going to leave any stones unturned. So you need to understand that the investigation of this child we're using every resource, and it's very intense. We ask that the community only report information from credible sources to law enforcement. And as we know, that as we're just, we know that if we're just coming up with speculation, it causes rumors, and we'd like to have factual information. So please.
This is a week after, guys. You can see all this stuff started pretty fast. It could be this one or a different one, but I think Brandy was saying that there was someone heckling them at one of these press conferences and followed them home as well, just complete lunatics who know nothing about the facts of the case.
Help us out that way so we can chase down factual leads. We also want to emphasize that Michael's family continues to be 100% cooperative with our investigation, and we're asking you to be extremely respectful of their privacy during this situation, and we would appreciate that. Super difficult time, as you would know. So Michael was last seen wearing a light blue Minecraft t-shirt over here on my left, dark blue boxer briefs, a child size 11 sandal, and he stands 3'7" tall. He's 50 pounds. He's got blonde hair, blue eyes, and he answers to the nickname Monkey. If you see Michael, have any information.
I think the sandals are kind of important as well, guys. They don't have a back on them. So last week I was talking about how these would float in a river, be very hard to get rid of. But also I think it was more a case of, if you watch the 2 videos I did on child abductions, how it gets easier to lure a child as you get younger. I think it would have been pretty easy to lure a Monkey in. He's that type of personality. Just ask him a little silly question. Can you show me the way to the park? Can you show me where this is? And he'd be happy to help. Whereas if someone is grabbed, if he was grabbed and snatched, those flip-flops would come off.
That would lead us,
that's what I think anyway.
To his whereabouts or his location, please call the Payette County Sheriff's Office at 208-642-6006, extension 0. So we just want to extend our appreciation to our...
That's just insanity. Like, these people should be prosecuted for this.
Community. We thank you for your continued support, and the media. And with that, I'll stand for a few questions.
So I was out here the past few days. There's a lot of people driving out here wanting to help, but they weren't really sure. There was some organized stuff, but just what do you want people to do who are wanting to help you guys out? Do you want them to stay out of your way? Is there things that they can do to help support, or kind of what direction do you want to get people who want to lend a hand?
Okay, thank you. That's a great question, and we've been getting that quite a bit. I would tell you that where we certainly appreciate the public's wanting to help us, we've evaluated that several times, and it can become a little problematic for us. So what we're asking the public to do at this point is to search their residences and their homes. You never know. We got a 5-year-old kid out there. He can wander in and out of places super easy, into people's backyards. Any place that he could be on a larger piece of property, that's what we're asking the public to do. We have trained professional search teams with search canines that are certified, and we're in these areas that we have been for the last 3 days now. So we're asking for the public to stay out of those areas and let us search those with these certified search teams. They're professionals. They know what they're looking for. A lot of times when we recruit civilian help, they miss things. And so where we have such an...
Like a poor Brandy and Tyler, like it must be so surreal. It must just feel like a living nightmare. Like, how is this happening? That must be what you're asking yourself. Like, I can't imagine.
Intense and such an important goal to accomplish. We don't want to miss a thing. We need to cover those pieces of ground inch by inch with trained searchers who know what they're looking for, and they have canines that accompany them that are trained and certified as well. So we're just asking the public to help us out that way. Let us work through this with trained professionals. At the end of this, if we still find nothing, we may recruit the public's help in another mass area search down the road. But that'll be down the road, and that is an as-needed event. Okay? Thank you. Corey.
What credible leads have you gotten so far since the last time we spoke?
Corey, thank you for the question, but I'm not gonna opine or weigh in on the ongoing investigation into this thing. I just can't do it. So I appreciate that. Our focus and our main focus is finding MJ and bringing him back to his family, and that's where we're at right now. Search and rescue operations, and we're going to continue doing that. So thank you.
And you mentioned canine teams coming in. Were some canines brought in from out of state as well?
Well,
yes,
they were.
We've got canines, had at least 10 specific canine teams from at least 3 different agencies. I'm sorry, could you step up to the podium?
10 teams from 3 different agencies.
Yeah. We've had at least 10 separate canine teams from 3 different organizations that span from coast to coast.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Can you touch on more about what these outside agencies are able to bring to this case?
Oh my gosh. Thank you for the question. These outside agencies bring everything to the case that I can't. Manpower, resources, equipment, everything. The city of Fruitland, we're a small city. We've got 12 officers out here beating the street every day. So bringing these experienced, qualified people into these investigations for us it's just completely incredible, and it's huge for us. The City of Fruitland Police Department we can continue to support our community and handle those calls for service that we need to, while adding support to this team here as we continue this investigation. It's incredible. So.
Has any additional equipment been brought outside from the Fruitland Police, like with these agencies?
I don't understand your question. So any other equipment? So we do have drones that have been brought in from the Meridian Police Department. We have an Idaho State Police drone, as well as a Payette County drone and a Sand Hollow fire drone, all of which are pretty sophisticated, and they have FLIR capabilities, and we are continuing to use those as we.
And there was at the park 6 cents. Initially, there was 2 unidentified males. They identified one of them. There's still one that wasn't identified. And I think you're right. Sometimes you just wouldn't know. People will be noticed. No, anyone in that neighborhood and in that park since. But like you've seen the pictures, it doesn't look. It's hindsight's 2020, but it just doesn't look like a dangerous area.
Research. FLIR is a forward-looking infrared thermal imaging device. And so we put that up there. We like to primarily do that in areas where it's a little bit cooler, so maybe in the morning or late at night, where we can get a little better signature or heat signature on those devices. And so we're continuing to do that. It's a great resource.
That is great. And also, as horrible as it is, these drones also detect heat of people who've passed. The body will still be breaking down and giving off heat. So they had everything.
Was there any indication of a direction of travel or a direction that Michael might have gone or anything of that nature that you could relate?
You know, I will tell you that he was last seen there on Southwest 9th. We're still trying to pin down some directions of travel, but I don't have that.
Last seen on Southwest 9th.
You know, our goal is to find him, and we're going to continue hunting. And I will tell you that everything is on the table on this. Okay, so we're going to continue our search and rescue efforts. And I appreciate you guys. I thank you for being out here today. And having said that, would the family like to speak to this at all? Not.
I just want to thank the community and all the enforcement agencies that have been continuously, tirelessly looking for him. And anybody that has any information, please contact the Fruitland PD. We just want our monkey home. We just miss our baby and we want him home.
Anything helps. Anything.
Okay. Thank you, guys. All right, with that, we'll conclude. I thank you for coming.
Michael, who also goes by the nickname Monkey, was last seen 6 days ago on Tuesday evening in Fruitland. He is 3 feet 7 inches, weighs about 50 pounds. He was last seen wearing a blue shirt and
It's hard to say, Lisa. The roads was the big thing at the start. If an amber alert went out, if these alerts were on the roads, it would have been huge for him. The only other thing, and again, you run into problems with data and accessing data and stuff, but if someone did click on this park and click on this photograph, like me now, I'm after clicking on this photograph. If I scroll down and click on the other one, I've been tracked now on Google. Like Google have my IP address. They know I went onto this park. They know I clicked it. They know I clicked on the photographs. They know what photographs I clicked on. So I just wonder, is there a way to... Because these were only uploaded. This is Tiny Park. These were only uploaded in July. A couple of weeks before Monkey went missing. So there wouldn't have been many people click on this in that month before he went missing. And I do wonder if this area was scouted, which there's a good chance because all the schools have been shoved down south the road. Did the person that was involved with Take a Monkey click on this? Did they see that photographs? Is there any way to get their IP address and track them down that way? But in terms of the searching, to me, it looks like they tore the whole place inside out. The river practically dragged. Neighbours' houses were searched by multiple agencies on multiple times. Everyone pretty much had an open door. Neighbours were searching each other's houses because they were worried that maybe they didn't look hard enough. And the guy you just seen talking there, the Huff, he's incredible. Like, he talks about even going home and not being able to sleep because you're worried that, did I check that place properly? And they're going back, checking places 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times.
boxer briefs. Fruitland police say that they have combed through the entire city and even surrounding areas. Also enlisted the public's help to do so. And now they're asking Fruitland residents to search their property and only their property as other agencies comb through the area. They also say to, again, review any security footage if you have it, maybe even your
guys, that says a lot there, Brandy. Lewis Irwin, I honestly believe they've not left a stone unturned. Like, how many cases do you see where people are frustrated with their local law enforcement? It's not that case here at all.
doorbell cameras. Check that because you never know. And they're asking anybody to report credible information to the Payette County Sheriff's Office.
So I try to compile everything about Michael that we know so far, and then this will be the newest update.
This missing and endangered child alert went out at 8:20 p.m. with 4 different alerts via email, phone call, text messages being issued to area residents until 11:20 that night. Michael's image and information went out to law enforcement to a nationwide database known as NCIC, which is the National Crime Information Center that same night. Since the time of notification, the Fruitland Police Department, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Idaho State Police, and the Boise Police Department, assisted by 13 different law enforcement agencies throughout the state of Idaho, conducted a complete
13
and methodical, thorough searches. These searches included nearly 200 residential homes and properties and interviews of all the residents. You know, 5-year-olds can get into almost anything. So we've looked through nearly 200 garbage cans, drained canals and irrigation ditches, and pumped a septic tank in the area that had a makeshift 2x6 wooden plank lid. We've gathered 60 different videos from residential and business security cameras, and we're combing through that data as we speak. To date, we've received 163 tips. All have been assigned to investigators for follow-up, and many have already been cleared. Others are being worked on as we speak. We've conservatively estimated the number of man-hours from law enforcement agencies to be in the range of 2,500 man-hours, and that doesn't include our EMS, search and rescue partners, or the hours put in by the volunteers from our community. I got to tell you, I've never seen a police presence like this, and on behalf of Michael's family and the citizens of the city of Fruitland, I sincerely extend our thanks to the chiefs and sheriffs who have came to our aid, providing manpower and resources over the last week and certainly in the weeks to come. I would also like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to our friends and residents in the primary search area of Southwest 8th, Southwest 9th, Crestview Subdivision, Hidden Meadows Subdivision, and Three Rivers Way Subdivision. Your patience with our investigation does not go unnoticed. We've been through your homes, and in some instances, several times. And from my heart, I truly appreciate you. Our search and rescue
That says a lot as well.
efforts include the assistance of our citizens from the night Michael went missing to present. And I thank you, and I ask you to continue to search your property again. 5-year-olds are crafty and get into small places. Since notification, we've conducted an exhaustive ground search, employing the Idaho Fish and Game, Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue Team, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, both Fruitland and Sand Hollow Fire Departments, and a coordinated search effort by our citizens. We have methodically and thoroughly searched over 3,000 acres of farm ground with multiple certified canine teams, and we've searched 29 miles of riverbank using private fixed-wing aircraft, helicopters, sophisticated drones, boats with canines.
Lisa, that's brilliant. That is. And it's going to be something like that that's going to bring them home. It's just going to be that one person who thinks they spotted something, know something, and doesn't hesitate and calls it in.
Kayaks, and paragliders. I'm unsure of the number of man-hours involved in that effort, but I'm sure it would mirror our investigative effort. Drone flights will continue along with riverbank searches by boat. This morning, the search continued in the area below Southwest 8th Street, where some heavy foliage was removed and a specialized canine was deployed. In the near future, we have a dive team scheduled to search pond in the sloughs down in the area of Southwest 8th. And our search effort and rescue efforts will continue as long as we have those resources available to continue that. We know people in this community and elsewhere are concerned about Michael, and we'll continue to issue updates as the best we can as the investigation continues. To our local media, I want to say thank you for working with us. You know, it's difficult to respond to every and individual inquiry. I'll try to address your questions in updates as this investigation continues, and truly appreciate your patience with me. Please understand, though, that I can't detail the nature of some of the information we've received or the information that we're looking into. And we don't want to release anything that's going to jeopardize our investigation into this. What I can say is we have not eliminated any possibility. Nothing has been ruled out in this case. Social media, it can be a wonderful tool for us, but sadly it can also be a hindrance, especially when it comes to sharing accurate information. So if there's a development in this case, I will notify you personally. If the information on Facebook or social media doesn't come from me directly or the Fruitland Police Department, you need to consider that suspect. Rumors and speculation, innuendo, complicate our investigative efforts.
Rumors, speculation, innuendo complicate the investigative efforts. This was from the very start. This was happening. This was impeding the investigation from the very start. And they were begging and pleading with people to stop.
And so we appreciate your support in this, and just help us by doing that and respect our efforts. So back to the National Crime Information Center. Michael's information was entered into the missing child database there through the NCIC as soon as possible after he was reported missing. That means if Michael is found by law enforcement anywhere in the country, he'll be identified and we'll know what to do. What can people do in my community? Well, what I'd like you to do is search the immediate area. Please thoroughly search your property. I can't emphasize that enough. If you've looked once, look again, please. Look in all your outbuildings, vehicles. I want you walking your fence lines. We also ask that residents review any security camera footage for any sign of a small children in the area. We continue to say this, but children move around and they wander, and they may have traveled back into your yard without your knowledge. So please, search again. If you know something, if you know anything, perhaps you're unsure and you don't want to talk to us, maybe you're even afraid to reach out to us. We are here. We want to listen. We want to listen to what you have to say. Please talk to us. We're very grateful for the public's assistance. And again, we're following up on every lead that we receive vigorously. Our investigators are laser focused and our morale is good. We take care of one another. We're all in this together. We're committed to finding Michael, and we're not going to leave any stones unturned. We also want to emphasize that Michael's family continues to be fully cooperative. I'm going to continue to ask for the respect of their privacy. Please. Michael was last
You can tell he's just frustrated by it as well.
seen wearing a light blue Minecraft t-shirt with dark blue
He's just begging people to leave the family alone.
or black boxer briefs with a green stripe and a child size 11 flip-flops. He stands about 43 inches tall, 50 pounds, with blonde hair and blue eyes. He answers to the nickname Monkey. And if you see Michael or have any information into his whereabouts or location, please call the Payette County Sheriff's Office at 208-642-6006, extension 0. And that is our tip line. And so with that, I'll stand for a few questions.
Sir, I understand that this investigation is probably very expensive, and I just want to clarify for situations like this, would the bill be placed at the feet of the family, or is it something the taxpayer?
But this will be something that the taxpayers will definitely be covering. We've got our state police agencies. We've got federal agencies involved in this. I can't see any of this falling on the family members.
Talked about a dive team. Could you touch on that one more time about where you're going to be looking?
Sure. So we've employed a dive team to come in here pretty soon, and the reason why we're doing that is because we have a lot of resources available to us, and where we're really not sure what happened, we're going to use every resource that's available to us. So they're going to be at the end of Southwest 8th Street, down by the Snake River in the slough area down there.
Does Michael's parents know this or community at this time?
You know, they did not today. So, but our thoughts and prayers are with them. You know, I have a few private individuals that have contacted me, reached out, and that will be coming. So.
You mentioned a few things that members of the community can do to help. What about people that are from out of the area that come in? What can they do to help, or should they try to stay out of the search area?
You know, I think they need to take a look at our flyers and stay vigilant. I think that's the best thing that they can do for us. We've got a lot of support in this community, and everybody wants to help. Like I said, we're all emotionally tied to this thing, and we certainly appreciate them. And our primary goal, the number one goal that we have, is locating Michael and bringing him home. Can I just touch on the finance aspect? I want to just thank our community. Over the last 7 days, today included, our community partners, business owners have donated countless amounts of food and drink to our search efforts. And I just want to throw it out there to them. They've been wonderful. The support has been great. And just a sincere thank you.
With the number of hot days that we've had, is the heat having any sort of taking its toll on the search or the people that are searching?
Yes, that has been a problem for us, especially with our canine units. They're tough, but they can only go so long before those dogs need a break. You know, and I guess I would say the same thing for our searchers. You know, sometimes they're in these fields slugging it out in the mud, you know, doing what they do. But my goodness, I can't say enough for them. They're super tough. So.
Is there any concern with the recent rains that the canines might not be able to pick up the scent now?
Yeah, there are a lot of concerns when it comes to that. And after that heavy rain that we had the other day, that was one of our major concerns, especially with scent tracking dogs. So we'll continue to deploy those. It's still a resource we have available to us at our access, and we're going to continue to do that. So.
Have you heard anything about a motorcycle drive-by on Friday for Michael's family and his parents that will be taking place around 7:15 p.m.? Is that something that you folks are aware of at this time?
I have not. I have no knowledge about that.
You mentioned a lot of outside resources. You're very thankful for those. Is there any timeline on when those are going to expire and not be available anymore, or is it a day-by-day situation?
This is a day-by-day situation, and I'll tell you again that as long as I have those resources available to me, he was so consistent. I think this guy is fab. I think he's brilliant. But he was always, as long as the resources are available, we're going to use everything we can to find him. And they did.
To be deployed. Yep. Are the search efforts just being focused around Fruitland, or have they also expanded to, let's say, around Ontario, across the board?
So our efforts outside of the city of Fruitland just include media, getting the information out there, as well as we've had teams of people posting up flyers, our missing flyers that were generated by our fusion center here in Idaho. So that, you know, other than that, that's where we're at. Okay. One last question, just for time. We got to get back to work. Anybody got anything? Okay.
2 months.
All right. Well, listen, I thank you for coming. I appreciate you guys more than you know. So I'll keep you updated as things develop. Okay. All right. Thank you.
I'm really interested.
Okay, so I just want to, that's pretty much all the early updates. I always have a check off this every week just to see that they update anything else. This is linked as well. This is a page on the website that links directly into their page. And that's their Facebook. Here it is. This is the last update that they gave us on the 24th of March. And guys, this was on the back as well of a week where weasels were doing weaselly stuff. And information was put out there that, this is just me now, that the Fruitland police, I believe, didn't want out there. If they wanted it out there, they would have put it out there. And then they were kind of forced to put it out there. So they directly interfered with an investigative tactic. So, update, it has been 8 months since Michael Joseph Vaughan went missing. The Fruitland Police and the Idaho State Police and the FBI continue to search for 5-year-old Michael Joseph Vaughan. Michael Vaughan was last seen missing on the evening of July 27, 2021. Since then, our investigators continue to work to determine just what happened during the time leading up to Michael's disappearance. We've received nearly 850 leads, nearly all have been cleared. We are working through newly obtained data from that time frame and are hopeful that will produce new leads. This is an exhaustive, labour-intensive task. The search for Michael has taken on several phases, and after multiple ground searches in and around the area and across the state of Idaho, as we have said, there is a high probability of an abduction. Although we've been working with the potential criminal abduction aspect since the time Michael went missing, it has become our primary focus several months ago. Due to the fact that this is a criminal investigation, we are limited in the information that can be shared. At this time, we have no intention of coordinating another ground search, as the entire area has been searched multiple times by local agencies, professional search and rescue units, community volunteers, helicopters, drones, boats, divers, professional K9 units. These areas have been walked step by careful step, and if a credible lead sends us back to an area or to a forest, a field, or anywhere, we will go. The white Honda Pilot, that's what I was on about, as mentioned in an earlier update, has not been confirmed as identified, but we feel strongly that we know who it belongs to. We will continue to seek information on that vehicle. We are happy to hear that SB Monkey's Law, basically, passed both houses, and feel that if signed into law, it will be a much needed tool moving forward for all of Idaho law enforcement. So they were buzzing with that, fully back and supported it. Mass exposure in these type of events will bring a higher probability of a successful recovery. As most of you know, to keep our community updated, the Fruitland Police Department has held multiple press briefings. We are grateful to our local media for covering the search for Michael in stories that have been shared nationwide, even internationally. We have seen the poster of Michael from the City of Fruitland webpage shared countless times via media and social media. We do ask that the official poster from the Fruitland Police Department and the Idaho Missing Persons Clearinghouse be the poster that is shared, as it will consistently share the same information that will be recognizable to law enforcement nationwide. You can find Michael's poster here. I have that one as well as the first one on the website. Tips can be sent to find Michael at fruitland.org or to Crime Stoppers 343cops.com. Tips remain anonymous. To those who stand strong and continue to support both Michael's family and the efforts of law enforcement to find Michael, thank you. You're helping us avoid conjecture and keep the focus on finding this little boy. Please note, while not all investigative efforts can be made public, our focus remains strongly on finding Michael, with no stone left unturned, every option carefully considered, and all leads investigated. The reward for Michael's safe return is now $52,000. Every donation is appreciated. This fund is being held in an account with the City of Fruitland Police and is being reactivated until 31st of March. I think that's carried on now as well. The fund is given sunset dates to provide accountability and urgency. If someone has or learns of information that can help find Michael, we want this information now. This Facebook page is the only source of credible first-hand information in this case. Please continue to follow this page for more updates as they are available. Please keep Michael, his family, and the investigators working to bring him home in your prayers. Thank you. So that's the last update that we have. And I will finish the stream, because I know you're just talking about it there. Some people might not have seen it. Brandy, I was thinking about you actually yesterday. What was that? Tough day, it's a. What did I come in here looking for? Oh yeah, the news report.
City under attack.
So this is, if anyone wasn't here to start, this is the news report on Monkey's Law.
Into law. It's also signing Senate Bill 1378 into law. It's also known as Monkey's Law. That's the nickname for Michael Vaughan. He's the 5-year-old boy from Fruitland who's been missing now for 8 months. No alert was issued when he came up missing. This bill corrects that.
Passed Idaho's first ever endangered missing persons alert, what we call Monkey's Law. Monkey's Law established an emergency alert system that lets us send out alerts parallel to the Amber Alert system, so that no other
That's the senator I was talking about as well, Abby Lee. She was out searching that night.
family will have to suffer the anguish of not.
And I think the Fruitland police brought these on this poster here. It says Michael was last seen in the neighbourhood between 6:30 and 7.
Seeing an alert when an endangered missing person or child is kidnapped.
This is monumental to Idaho law enforcement. I just want to make sure that everybody understands how big that is for us.
Now, Chief Huff says they continuously are working on finding Michael. Tips are still coming in. By the way, Michael's parents were there today for the signing of the bill. And here again is a picture of Michael. He's 5 years old.
And I think we'll end it, guys, will we, with the with that prayer. Where is it?
Of course, our heart is broken, and we're very sympathetic for Michael's family.
This probably would have been an ideal time to commit some crimes in Fruitland. All the police were down the park.
Of course, our heart is broken, and we're very sympathetic for Michael's family. And Lord, we ask that you would be with them and bring them comfort. We know there is some consolation in the fact that a law is being passed today that will perhaps certainly be beneficial and help in these kind of situations in the past and in the future. Not in the past, but Father, rather in the future. Lord, the things that are happening in this country are unimaginable. Can't imagine anything worse than a child being abducted. So,
Just go back there 2 seconds.
imagine anything worse than a child being abducted. So, Father, I thank you for those who have stepped forward and are bringing this bill forward, and for the governor coming to sign it, and all the law enforcement and all the support that it has. Lord, I also ask for healing and comfort today, healing for our country as we see this kind of thing going on and can hardly imagine it. Lord, your word tells us that if we will, your people who are called by your name, will humble themselves and pray and turn from their evil ways, that you will hear their prayers and you will heal their land. And Father, so today we pray for healing for our land. And we ask, Father, that this bill might be a step in that direction. We thank you that you are a loving God, that you never leave us, you never forsake us. You are always there with us, even in times when we can't explain and we don't understand what's going on. Father, again, we thank you for your love, for your mercy. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Swap, you have worked them before.
That is going to save lives. And you can tell the support was universal from everywhere from it. It takes a long time to get these things over the line usually. But yeah, I think that'd be a good place to leave it for this week. Thanks, obviously, everyone in the chat for being kind, respectful. Thanks, Brandy, for joining. I know parts of that must be really difficult. And I starred one comment from earlier on. What is it? Trixie. I don't think there'll be one person in that community that won't be celebrating when we get Monkey home. I couldn't agree more. We're going to have a big parade, big party. The town will be shut down for weeks. I can't wait. Right, I'll leave it there. Please, guys, check out the website. Share his post or tell a friend. If you know anyone doesn't know the story, tell them about him. Ask them to share his face, because it's going to come down to it's going to come down to one person, one little tip that's calling. And hopefully we'll have him home for next week's stream. Good luck. God bless. Have a good night.